Hi, Jeremy.
Hi.
Welcome to your allergy exam. We're going to be testing a few parts of the face and the neck that get affected by allergies the most to see where your current histamine level is at. And then we can go ahead and have you lay down and perform the test of all the allergens. We want to make sure that you're not having an allergic reaction to something already before we bring in other factors. So I'll just ask you, do you have any seasonal allergies or anything that's bothering you right now?
Not that I know of, no.
Okay. So mind if I just take a look at the face for any swelling. I'm going to sanitize my hands before I press gently. Feeling across the frontal sinuses. Any pain here?
No.
Okay. Coming down towards the temples. And now the maxillary sinuses, which are right here underneath your eyes and cheekbone. I'm not feeling any swelling there. And there's no pain, right?
No.
Just gently touch the eyelids and the tear joint ducts. I want you to open your mouth slightly, and I'm actually going to be checking the sinuses a couple different ways. So actually just relax the mouth for now. And now open. Okay, relax. Looking for any signs of hives or raised bumps. We get them especially around our neck and our chest. Very common places, not exclusively, but do you ever find yourself getting itchy or red bumps anywhere?
No.
And I don't mean like bug bites and things like that, of course. Just you're not having like random sort of contact dermatitis that you've noticed.
Not that I've noticed, no.
Okay. Okay. Look in the ears for any signs of discharge there that could be allergy related. Say ah for me.
Ah.
And I'm just going to look for any redness as well. You never have any like tightness of the throat or anything like that?
No.
That's great. Feeling the lymph nodes. Alright, I think it's all fine. So we just like to perform these allergy tests once every decade or so to make sure that there is nothing that's causing you discomfort. This can also be very beneficial if you have a reaction. You may not even realize that you're feeling discomfort. It just doesn't come up until it does, and then you're like, oh, I must have got a bug bite or whatever, and it's like, oh no, that's actually a rash, and we just don't think about it. So this will just be helpful for our records. Do you have any questions before we begin?
No, I don't think so.
Right, I'll have you lay flat. I'm gonna add in the headrest for you, and we'll get you comfortable shirt off so we can start making the test marks on the back.
Sounds good.
All right, let's take a quick look at the back. Again, just checking for any signs of redness or bumps that I could have mistake for reactions. And I'll just note a few things. So there is a little bit of redness, mostly around the neck area. It just looks like sun exposure, but we'll be mostly testing the other side part of the back, so it shouldn't be an issue. I'm going to avoid a couple of these freckle areas just so we don't test this on different types of dermis. You want to get as close to typical skin contact as possible. And we're going to clean the back off, but I'm first just going to palpate. This allows me to feel for any swelling or initial heat. We'll also take initial temperature. So we are getting normal temperature. And it gets a little cooler as we get away from the internal organs, and that is normal. Okay. So nothing to note there. So, Jeremy, let's create the grid on your back. This will help us keep everything in place. First thing I need to do is sanitize the back. sanitize my hands as well. I will be using tools to apply the allergens, but make sure my hands are clean when we're doing the grid. So you feel just something touch the back. It's going to be a little cool. It's this plastic ruler. This just helps me create clean lines that way. They're nice and even. We're testing you today for the most common allergies, and these include things like molds, certain pollens, certain food allergies. And we'll kind of see if anything pops that we need to go a little bit more in depth on. Excellent. So we have our grid. And I'm going to label these as well. Anything uncomfortable so far?
No.
Okay. So I will start out with a saline solution. This is our control. Okay. Now you'll feel a little bit of wetness, and I've got 40 of these to do, so just bear with me. If anything starts feeling itchy or uncomfortable right away, please tell me. We have the first row done. These are trees and flowering plants. Moving on to our second row. These are molds. So everything from a household mold to a water mold. Okay. Last one here as well. Move on to some common other allergies. So this includes dog and cat saliva, things that you might encounter in everyday life. Okay, moving on to our food section. So testing some of the most common allergies. These are going to be nuts, certain berries, actually I already see one of those molds is bothering you. Okay. Make a couple of notes. So 10. moving on to medication. This one. And we've got some random things in the last row here. We'll leave the last one open to the air. Okay. So I'm going to give you 15 minutes here, 15 to 30 minutes. I'll come back. By that point, most of this should be absorbed into the skin, and we'll see if anything had a reaction, okay?
Sounds good.
All right, Jeremy, it's been about 30 minutes. I think you and your emotional support dog here might have gotten a little rest, which is great. I'm going to look at, and yeah, you do definitely have some reaction on that number 10 mold that I had already seen forming. It's gotten quite a bit worse now. Some bubbling and redness. Slight reaction on 14, not too bad, but definitely something there. 24 has a little bit of redness as well. Just the slightest bit on 36. And a pretty severe reaction on 41. Actually, it's actually kind of spread over into the room air control box and the one next to it, so I know it's stemming from number 24. Okay. I'm going to measure the reaction distance. So we have a 6 centimeter by 4 centimeter reaction for number 41. I'll start with that one as it's the most severe. Centimeters by 4 centimeters. Redness and raised bumps. Forget what that one is. Okay. So that one's environmental, but it's a little bit more rare. It's a fungus related, so mushrooms, things in that genus. We definitely need to do some more testing to see which one's bothering you. Okay, let's see. 36 had a slight reaction. too bad. Do you ever feel like your sneezing increases like in wooded or foresty areas? Like all of these ones down here are very related to sort of like fungus, wetness, mossy, moldy, that kind of thing.
I'm not sure.
Okay. Yeah, definitely seeing a reaction there. Number 24. That was pet dander. Just a slight reaction there. And looking more at the sort of like small animal section here for 24, so looking more like mice, moles, rats, things that are the smaller rodents reaction there. Okay, and then number 10 was quite bad. And I know number 10. This is a mold, a household mold, a water mold. So these are, you're going to find it in your bathrooms, you're going to find it in laundry rooms, anywhere there might be excess water usage. So even around the kitchen sink, sometimes you get kind of that orangey mold. That's what that is, that you had a negative reaction to. A little bit on 14 as well. And that's a black mold. That's really common. Most people are allergic to that one. Some people have more severe than others, but yours isn't too bad. I would say typical. Okay. So let's put some soothing balm on you here. We'll clean you up. Just make you feel a little bit more comfortable. It's not going to get rid of this completely because it's just going to take some time for the skin to calm down. I'll try and take some of the grit off, but it'll just come off in your next shower. All right, Jeremy. So I'm going to write down all this information for you, what things you should avoid. I'd like you to come back another time. We'll do some more advanced testing on the fungi, the mushroom growth. This could be something mushrooms you eat, mushrooms you touch. There's so many different types of that fungi, even ones that you don't, you're not really familiar with, that we'd have to do more in-depth testing there. But otherwise, I'll let you get dressed. I'll meet you out front. We'll schedule that next appointment.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.